All right, first part of the day, waking up in Dakar. Eventually should make it over to that island, if you can see it way off in the distance, behind that tanker or power ship, whichever that is. We saw in the last port there's a power ship, I'm not sure if that's what this is, but there was one at the last port, and it's supplying electricity to the city. I doubt this, which is Senegal, needs anything like that. It's probably entirely self-sufficient. We've gone from English-speaking Gambia to now French-speaking Senegal. This is the city of Dakar. Both places, Banjul and this, were capitals. And so this will be a nice transition. Everyone around will be speaking French, but like yesterday, it's a town where you have to stay on your guard. Again, though this commerce doesn't show it, the poverty in this part of the world makes people persistent in trying to get the things they need, and you've got to somehow assure them that you're just here to get the things you need. As you can see, it's a huge port, just like anywhere else. It's both of these places are independent now, and have had their independence not that long, but France and England kind of tied things up for a long time. These were ports for them, but now this is for the people of Senegal, and I'm going to go off and see just what's to be found in this place. See ya. I don't know if the sound will come through here. Gorée Island. I'll have some historical stuff soon. I just thought I'd get some footage from that in the ocean. It's not a very big island. And this section right up front here seems to be where the historical action was. All right. I don't know if you could hear that last little chunk, but this is Gorée Island, one of the two big spots in this part of the world where the slaves were taken off from Africa to be sent over largely to the Americas. So I'm going to travel around once I get past the sea of people and see if I can see a little bit of it. Pretty place. The water is just gorgeous. There's a lot of shallow spots here and back by the commercial port. You can see a bit of this and a bit of my camera. There we go. Yeah, hard to believe. Such a beautiful place. It's just like Devil's Island. You get a lot of pain, suffering, misery in such a gorgeous place. People just ought to hang out here and enjoy beautiful afternoons. I doubt I'm going to see much beer, but we'll see. All right, a little tour of the island. It's amazing how many friends I acquire. Everyone wants to guide me and help me, and it's unbelievable. One of the things you find when you travel a lot is that no one thinks you can do anything on your own, and for just a small something or other, they can help you turn left or right or wherever it is you think you need to go. There's a museum up here for the slaves. This is just a football pitch. And great little town. I assume these were quarters of people running the show back in the day that have kind of morphed into regular houses for the locals. The lady who was helping me, or is helping me, is a little baby named Mohammed, and she has got She's lived here 40 years, and that's somebody I know. I just thought I'd take a little shot of him. So I think the museum is down this way. Let's see. Let's see. As I mentioned before, Senegal is formerly French, and so everyone here speaks French. Of course, it's a tourism town, so there's lots of English spoken as well. All right, I want to see if I can get some of the look of this. That tree is just impressive. I don't know if I can get it on camera or not, but it's awfully thick. I don't know what it is. People working, pounding traditional I'm assuming grains. So, crazy thing, slavery. Odd combination of economics and social dysfunction. Yeah. Straight up racism. Very colorful stuff here. Everyone wants you to shop. I don't mind spending money on things, but I just don't need anything. So, for those of you who like colorful things that are relatively affordable, this might be the spot for you. See if I can head out this way without getting pulled off. Looks like this is shut for now. Yep. All right, this is the Museum of the Slaves, and it's from what it says, this was used to house slaves who worked in the local houses I was just walking around. And so I'm going to take a walk through this and see what I can see. I'm not sure how many people would have been housed in these things. Kind of hard to say after it's been turned into a museum. But it's a nice, cool building. I mean, the fans obviously weren't here, but it's, yeah, this must have been sort of the main headquarters for everything. And here, we're this close to beautiful ocean. It's a gorgeous view. close to the water. And as you see in a little while, we're at that spot where people came in and they really never got back. I'm not sure how easy it is for everyone to read this, but it's basically a place of nonviolence and human fraternity. It's they've turned it into a museum to honor the victims, you know, the deportation. You can make all that out yourself, and you know, it's nice that they're doing this. This place is crazy crowded, so I'm going to try to get in anyway.
Comme tous les présidents, je suis pareil. La campagne, il dit déjà ça, et nous, je suis rien. Voilà. Je suis pareil.
Some of the folks that have showed up here. Mandela came to visit. And yeah, Jackson 5. I thought I was seeing things. But it's not a large building. This was a, sorry. This is just simple housing before. All right. Back out in the open sun. There's so much beauty. I think I figured out that big tree is a baobab, which I thought they only had in Madagascar, but I guess I'm wrong about that. And keep roaming around here. Some beautiful old light fixtures. A lot of bougainvillea. There's actually a sewage system right here. I didn't even realize that. I mean, of course there is, but I wouldn't have suspected it. Well, I don't exactly know. I guess I'll follow the tourists. Should be a mosque around here somewhere. This has made a circle to where I was earlier. And this is one of those trees that I think might be a baobab. They're not in great shape, not as healthy as I hope, but that's why they're so big and impressive. They're so thick in the trunk. Pull this back a bit. So anyway, there was another line that I remembered. Henry Miller, the writer, once said that one's destination is never a particular place, but a different way of seeing things. And I mean, going to a place like this, where you see sort of the last place that anyone would have seen when they were taken as slaves. I mean, millions of people from this coast would have wound up as slaves. And to think what it'd be like to live in those rooms in that kind of close quarters and heat, and then to just be taken off to some place thousands of miles away, never to see your family again, be treated like, and worse, is, yeah, I guess a sobering lesson, especially for people like me who have the gall to complain about really anything. You know, I always use the example of my water or light bill being higher than I expected, or, oh, I've got this little issue that I've got to sort out. I'm going to have to sit on the phone for 15 minutes. Whatever it is that I think is so terrible. And You don't want to compare your plight to that of others so you feel better, but it certainly gives you a bit of perspective. All right. And here is something on the colorful side. People showing off their wares. Like there's an entire... Hello there. Thank you very much. I'm just trying to do a walk around of the whole island.
On your way back, you come to see me.
Oh.
You see the big gun and the monument.
They're up here?
My name is Stephanie, and you?
Mark.
Man, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
On your way back, you come to see my shop.
Thank you.
Don't worry. See you later.
It would bother that lady to know that I don't have a dollar. I haven't done any currency exchange, and several people are hoping that I will. Hi there. How are you doing?
We've just bought 2 beautiful paintings.
You have,
Kareem's brought a beautiful painting.
Very nice. You're not taking the frames, I assume.
They never give you the frames. They have very little wood here.
And you have very little space in your suitcase.
Yeah, well.
That last room is for women who
All right, everybody.
were no
so
longer
this is where
virgins.
everything was
So
happening.
they would have kept
The door
people
that you
apart.
see up on there in front of you is called the Door of No Return. That's the famous Door of No Return. And the reason why they call it the Door of No Return was that back in the slavery days, once the slaves put one step out, they never come back again. Never. So all the slaves who were sold in this house, they were living from this door. Also, all the sick and agonizing slaves thrown from this house to the shacks, they were also thrown from that door. Now, when came the time to leave, all the slaves were getting online, and one by one, they used to go to the boats. But back in those days, the boats couldn't get very close to the yard because of the rocks.
Wants to be a slave for the day. But you heard the man. You go out this door, and it says on the top, it's kind of hard to see with the daylight. It's
So they
the
decided back then,
door of no return. They have it down the bottom in
a
English.
long bridge made with this type of food up here called the palm roof. That way the slaves were able to walk one by one and reach the boat a little further.
Yeah.
Also, anytime the slaves were going to the boat, the security guards used to be always standing one side to another of the wooden bridge.
Somebody send this guy out to never return. There we go. So there's your door right there. Beautiful view. It's the last time you see anything from here. I'm staying here. If I got that correctly, this is a monument to the French, that the English are gone. How about that? Thank you, sir. Here, things are a little bit more rustic. The paintings hide the surroundings, but these are the baobabs that are effectively dead. You see, like right here, past that lamppost, that row of trees there are baobabs, and they don't seem to be doing so well. So, but it was one of the things I wanted to see. I had hoped that I would be able to see Chris sometime on the east side of Africa. Hello there. On the east side of Africa, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen in Madagascar. But yeah, maybe someday. All right. I'm thinking that might mean I'm getting close to the mosque. People selling more colorful stuff around here. Some really interesting artwork. Someone's used old telephones and watches and electrical plugs to make an assortment of interesting goodies. Now this is more like it. You're looking at a cell, which would have been not so much a prison. You can see that it once had a slit to defend yourself. So this might have been a bit of a fort at some time. But this was a room meant to live in. And it's, oh gosh, maybe 6 feet wide, maybe 10 feet long. Not much. Here's one that's slightly larger. I overheard a tour that I didn't really want to hang with say that these rooms, now this one's slightly larger than the one I just showed you, would have been for 15 to 20 people. So pretty tight quarters.
Liberation and also purification. Also take some quiet moments to reflect and meditate about the atrocities of the state. Yes, you can take some quiet moments to do some prayers, feel free.
And this, just beside it, is the area where they would have held these suckers and taken them off one by one through this door that I just turned you to. You go from here around and out there.